Just talk us through your reaction to that today.
To come to the league leaders and a team who have been unbeaten in 20 plus games, to create the number of opportunities we did and not work the keeper enough, and then when we came under the pressure which we expected with the way they play and so the confidence of playing with them with the crowd, we couldn't see out that spell. The referee gives a penalty for which our players are adamant that there was a foul on our player and it didn't hit his hand anyway. But listen, those things generally go against you, maybe. But yeah, the frustrating thing for our point of view is that we've come here with a game plan to utilise the strength of our players, and we've got into really good areas and got into the final third and got balls into the box. But we have to be more clinical, we have to be more ruthless when you get those opportunities, because say to have 14 shots at the league leaders who are playing in a really confident mood and we come away having not scored is extremely disappointing.
What changed at half time? Because the first half you were the better side.
I thought we were the better side in the first half, but you know, it's 0-0 at half time, and you're reinforcing the message about what we had to do without the ball, and we had to keep competing with Bishop and Sadie from the directness of the goalkeeper's kicks and trying to land on second balls, and they crossed the most balls in the league, so we'd worked on that, we'd spoken about that, stop the ball coming in the box, make sure you mark in the box, and they test you physically and mentally, and we'd stood up to that. A little bit of O'Connor comes to the cross and he touches it on, it goes straight to the lad and fires it back across, and we find ourselves 1-0 down, and I say then the referee then makes a decision, and for 10-15 minutes we became a team which didn't play to our strengths. We lost control of the game, we went more direct, and we're not that group. We wrestled it back towards the end of the game. But again, no, you've got to be more ruthless and more clinical. When you're getting the chances you are at the league leaders, you have to score.
You lost Conor Grant in the first half as well. Did that affect things, and how is he?
His calf, I'm not sure on the severity at this moment in time, but you know, I picked those two there because I thought we could take advantage of how they try to press and say some of the weaknesses that we thought in their team, and we were effective with both tens in the first half, and Ben being that focal point and that presence and the ability to run in behind and stretch the game to create more room for the tens. And again, no, we were effective from box to box, but it's about what happens in both boxes in this moment in time. We're not getting both things right, and there has to be a reliability amongst the group that fulfil your role in the team. That's what you're there for. To say stop, defend crosses, mark in the box, but when we're getting opportunities, we have to score, we have to create, we have to be more ruthless.
It was the second game where you didn't pick a recognised striker. I've seen lots of questions that have knocked around on social media and elsewhere. When you're putting that team out there today, what are you thinking when you're not putting a recognised centre forward on the pitch? We
looked at the makeup of their back four and how they try and press and the spaces that we thought we could take advantage of, and a centre-half coming in who's not been playing for a number of games, who's got his own strengths, but we thought we could take advantage, and we did. But we got the ball into the box and we didn't score.
It must be frustrating though when, like you say, you've come up with a game plan that can be open to criticism at times, but you have then worked on it, you've just not had the rub of the green in front of goal.
I don't think it's down to rubber green, Phil. You've got to be ruthless when you get chances like that, and they're clear chances, and in every game, but even more so when you come away from home against a team who are top of the table, unbeaten in 20 plus games, you have to take those chances.
Just a couple of mention of players who weren't here. Mitch Clark, and I know Mitch was here but obviously wasn't in the squad. Dan Jones as well. Where are you up to with them?
Dan has had a reoccurrence of a glute issue. He went for an appointment on Monday and has been ill ever since as well. There's a few things going around with the group, I've got to be honest. I didn't name the team until this morning because there's a number of players who were doubtful. I had to take funds off as funds as work on Tuesday night when we had 10 men was through the roof, his physical data, and I had to protect him in the second half. He got into the game with a slight hamstring issue, so a precaution with that one. But yeah, so Dan has started a course of treatment to hopefully get this glute right. So Mitch has travelled downwards and was part of the group, but I looked at the team and I thought Tom Sang played really well on Tuesday night and was effective. And I then looked at the options who were on the pitch and the possibility if we go behind, Gav becomes more of an attacking threat. So that's why Mitch wasn't involved.
With the trophy game obviously to come on Tuesday, but after that then you've got a bit of a break. Will that help with some of those things you're hopeful of, I take it?
Yeah, I obviously hope so. Alex is the long-term injury. I say from first doing it, looking at 8 weeks out, but obviously the other guys are getting closer, and with a 2-week break from league action, we're hopeful that we can get some of those bodies back fit and increase the competition within the team.
Very last thing, obviously there's one of us not here today in George Andrews, who very sadly passed away this week, and just a few words for him. Obviously you've known him very briefly, but you know he was one of us, and he's no longer here, so a terrible shame.
Yeah, so we travelled down on Thursday night, and I got a message from the club yesterday saying that George had passed away. Incredibly sad news for someone who obviously has worked in the local area and been working for 30 odd years in a variety of roles, and someone who I saw last week and is asking questions in his own unique way, and to think that he's now no longer with us is heartbreaking, really. And my condolences obviously go out to his wife Christina and his family, and he'll be sorely missed.